act like it's their privacy being invaded. That's a typical zombie, their privacy. It's not their privacy, it's not their apartment, obviously. And I'd like to note that the electricity is faulty, so don't worry about the refrigerator. I can't even charge phones or chargers reliably all night most of the time. So to keep, like there's phones that are just junk phones now, and then they stay charged. This is Lisa Guthrie, 505 Northeast 70th Street, Seattle, Washington, 98115. Oops, this alarm was not on. That is not good. And actually, it's a little different. There is closet entry at times. And this looks different than when I went to sleep. Over here. And my alarm was off. This is a big, popular area to enter. Now, when I have the alarm on, that's what it sounds like. Also, I keep a bed frame against the wall for a reason. So there were both subroom entry. They'll enter through a trap door. This is a closet with a crawl space. It's a shitty closet that falls over. And then in through there, crawl space goes in an S line. So when people break in here, they will do illegal acts such as raping people, obviously. You're at their mercy. They'll hit you in the head, especially if you're on the target list. Hitting you in the, oh, and I don't even have where you can see very well. Flipped around. So this is a closet right here. You were looking at my plugs. But closet, crawl space, and some of the stuff I had there was sort of displaced. Usually it's harder to get through. And there were boasts about people coming in, but I want you to know everybody is a cannibal zombie in Washington. They did a genocide against white Semites and warm-skinned Europeans. So someone may have entered. If there's ever anybody on my video, I want you to know they're here illegally. There is no boyfriend, and never a boyfriend would have, or a lover or a husband. I don't have a husband, but they would have never been on video. There is nobody who would be a family member and lovingly solicitous toward me, or anybody even touching me on video legitimately. There is nobody in Washington. So they'll also poison your food and water, touch it. These things like to play with urine and fecal. And if anybody did enter, which was boasted, there are 2 dirty cops here. Officer Rob Howard of the North Precinct is here. He actually had a big game running the last, I don't know how many years, but he's been a community service officer in Seattle Housing Authority, and he has been able to enter people's apartments and homes with other bad cops through the trap doors, generally apartments for Seattle Housing Authority, but they'll also do it out in the community as well. I mean, this is a public housing. You can freely come and go, but he's actually done terrorism in other houses and businesses. So one of them's making a clothing threat. If you're on the genocide list, they'll literally take everything you have, including your coat, your clothes. Officer Rob Howard needs to be rounded up, and he needs to be put into some place like Guantanamo Bay, of course legally, but so do the rest of the people of Washington. And they're playing You Might Beg Today. And so actually, you might lose everything today, ugly bitch. So I don't know if you can hear because I've got the windows open and this place is on I-5. I will state that I keep kind of a bed frame box against the door, and it wasn't there as securely as it was. There was something askew, and the closet is a big entry point. And usually, every day, I suffer through attempts of attacks, including kidnappings, and there's usually a threat of kidnapping, rape, murder, torture, even ambushing from 207. So people use 207 definitely to attempt to terrorize me, and they'll even pound on the door and then jump back in 207. Their ambush plots of kidnapping included, and it's because of people like Officer Rob Howard and ex-Army people, people with training. They teach the morons, the gang members, they teach the rest of the gang members, that is, how to get into people's houses, apartments, how to ambush them, how to surveil them secretly. So if you were white, Semite, or warm-skinned European, you didn't even have your own phone line or your own computer the last 14, maybe 20 years, maybe longer, because of terrorists like Officer Rob Howard. Officer Rob Howard is here, along with the corpse-like cop. I call him the corpse-like cop. I don't know his name, but he's got wiry black hair. He's an ugly man. He's about 5'10", stocky. Apparently, because he's a cannibal zombie too, his friends call him Corpsely. So these dirty cops are in on room break-in. They're cannibals, they're zombies, they're torturers, rapists, murderers, child molesters. They torture animals horribly here. They all also are hallucinatory, and they practice black magic. So if I'm gritting my teeth, like I said, moving my hands, I'm cursing. I'm going to go about my day, which involves going from, there's zombie place, that's all I have. Everybody is a grotesque lunatic. They reek of death. But I keep telling people that's how you can get them committed if you can't get them arrested. They stink. They're grandiose. They act like they're kings and queens, putting their fingers and their fists out if they see the glimmer of white skin. I'm not even white. And if they see green eyes, they call you the devil. So they're hallucinatory. They talk with they're psychotic. They're hallucinatory. They talk with their invisible friends, even police car people with no earpiece, no radio on, they talk, or like they're out. They talk to their invisible friend. They will even play a game of convicting you for this invisible world that you can't see. I'm just mimicking a policeman driving along talking to his invisible friend. Bus drivers do it constantly. Bus drivers, I see a lot of them because I take buses to get the hell away from this place, obviously. Well, one of the popular metro games, and yes, they're in on the genocide, they all day collude, the drivers collude with the they're zombies too. They collude all day with the passengers. So gang deals are made constantly. Even deals where they think they would quickly kidnap and kill somebody. One of the morons I just heard, he is a whiny freak. He is Officer Bobby's boyfriend. He's an ugly black male, 5'8", and he bragged about killing and torturing and killing 40 whites a day. There's a whore talking about cannibalism. She said something like, "We must have your meals on video." They'll also, now I've been telling you the food banks even are full of cannibalism, and they're ruining more and more brands. But the food banks are full of cannibalism, and there's one particular agency that I go to because it's got the Wallingford Food Bank, and I charge my phone. I used to charge it in the hall, but it's not so reliable. So I go there to the library and charge my phones. And, since I don't have reliable electricity here, and I live like I'm homeless, and phones are important, it's imperative that I keep a phone. And so I will let you know that the food bank will feed people, not necessarily the poor, but they also will feed the poor to the poor, and they've been doing that for years. And my relatives, Don and Larry Blackmer or Don, they're here right now, sneaking around the building. And their daughter and my brother, Michael Tudhope, they're just half brother, half sister. Their names are significant, though, because they have construction agencies. They've been criminals for years, including cannibals. And my brother-in-law has over 3,000 identities. There is a taxi, yellow cab. I'm going to get the license for you. BFA 1624, I think, or there could be one missing, and it's 515 cab 515. So what am I doing? Well, I am identifying a cab because whenever there are bums threatening, they will play police cab. These people will mix illegal and legal up constantly. You're going to go downstairs, you're getting in a cab. Well, a lot of them are driving up. This is the entrance. So I will identify them. Optimum conditions would be to have what I call a traffic cam, where you have a camera in the window. I have 3 cameras I can use. I'm having trouble with my stupid Wi-Fi. It's not letting me use Wi-Fi for my own Wi-Fi. And so I've got to call the guy up at Northgate to tell them. And that means I can't run even my old cameras off of my own Wi-Fi. But anyway, so 3 kind of cheap phones that are in work, they're working and they have service. Service slows down, they'll punish you. It seems like the service is getting so that you have less and less for the money. Anyway, so got 3 phones, and optimum would be to have what I call a traffic cam. But the electricity is not reliable in that area. I had one for a quote traffic cam that went way down fast. One solution is, of course, to use Alfred, which you can set Alfred so it records. Go back over your video and make sure they're permanent videos. But so my day doesn't involve cleaning a house where it smells like urine, fecal, blood, semen. Remember, these are gross, foul things. They like to play with urine, fecal, blood. I had a nosebleed, in case you're wondering. I have a dog on my head. I had a nosebleed actually on video. I got up and my nose was getting, and my chest was hurting. I actually have a lot of health problems. I have asthma, allergies, chemical sensitivities, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, bleeding ulcers. My heart isn't so good after 14 years of overtly being chased around by morons. And so I try to give history with each video in case you wonder what's going on. And so if you ever hear noises or see people in any videos, including if I unlock some past videos, there's nobody who should be here with me. There never was a boyfriend that was around me. And there shouldn't be anybody around me while I'm sleeping very closely. Even when Michael Benjamin Davis Wood and his mother were here and I was sort of like asleep or or actually asleep, they weren't allowed near me, and they were told that. You see, they're not here, and part of it was because they were bragging about cannibalism, and Michael Benjamin Davis Wood is a child molester. They were also issuing gang edicts, and they probably shot me up and raped me. And they'll use ketamine, but like I was telling earlier, they'll purposely debilitate people while they're sleeping. I've told that before. They'll use a needle. They'll hit you, anything they can do to make you deaf, blind, scarred. They like to inject moles so that you won't know that you've been injected. Eyelids, feet, inside of the nose. They'll do things to torture people, illegal lobotomies even, entering through the nose with a drill so that your brain fluid leaks out, taking some of your blood. And they have an obsession with making the victims ugly and crippled, but primarily ugly. And so you find the reason why is because a lot of these bums they're very ugly. They were inferior. They weren't smart. They weren't pretty. And so one of them mentioned the word looks. So one of their favorite things to do is to throw glass at people. They'll actually angrily grind it in people when they're sleeping. My hillbilly cousins have done that. Now, all the crimes I've mentioned, Rob Howard and the other dirty police are involved. And so you couldn't have killed 31 million people without just about everybody's collusion in the end. And it's interesting to note that any person who looks like they're flourishing in my state and they're not scarred, well, that's actually a sinister reason. It means that they are involved in the decimation. It means they are a cannibal that is tortured for their zombie friends. It means they're a child molester. It means they're a murderer. I'm cursing, in case you're wondering. And you'll hear me also do energy activity sometimes against these bums. Here's one now. Now I want you to use crossroads. Why? If you want to go against cannibal zombies. North, south, east, and west, because you get the cross, but you're also getting north, south, east, and west. Turn everyone inside out into a luridly glowing flowers. Black, red, white, orange, gold, silver, and gray. Use electric blue. Make everyone in Washington into red, white, and blue cellophane. Now, at the same time, I'm cursing the devil, the demons, the fallen angels. And remember, there's only one God. And these are terrible Satanists around me. And so the religion of Satanism, they're mad women and men. And believe me, it's more mad than sitting in a place with a dirty floor. And I'd rather sit in my own boot-scuffed room telling you outside and living like I'm homeless than having victim stuff. This whole place is dripping with blood. And you don't even see me. Oh, and I hear a cat crying. These are Satanists. You'll hear me cursing. Remember, I can't access through a wall to save a cat. So you could go mad by that fact alone, and the zombie bums are just like child molesters with adults in that they'll play, we're going to skin your bunny if you don't do this. And a bum is bragging about skinning. Show him his ancestor. First, turns out all your ancestors were skinned for hurting animals, zombies. Show them their ancestors. Every twist and turn, anything they do to me, anything they do to beings who hate the devil, including animals, it happens to their ancestors. And it shall happen to them. In fact, you can curse them so they suffer the pain. And these bums are yapping William this, William that. What is this William reference? It is a black Nazi reference in a lot of cases. And there's an ugly indigent named William. Obviously, he's not the only person named William. But these retards like to play names over and over, so you won't know what they're actually talking about. They actually might be playing at some point for the person named William, maybe William or whomever, their friends are playing their names over and over for them, with them. Might even be Officer Bobby, having someone play Officer Bobby over and over and over, over and over and over and over. The word William is part of the black Nazis taking over, and they play, you will go with William. That means a black Nazi. And these bums in my state will try to play mating you to, and it's to a mongoloid, it's a guarantee. It's going to be an ugly freak, a pissy smelling indigent. And I am part black. You don't have to like blacks. It's not racism. They're not attracted to me. They're the ugliest things on earth and in any planet. You don't have to like them. They're grotesque. You don't have to like a redhead with pink eyelashes that's 300 pounds. Why would you have to like a black man? And these are all cannibal zombies anyway. So these ugly freaks try to have you in a constant false relationship. They'll play pimp, they'll play John, and they'll play, oh, it's your heroin addict, especially after they throw glass at you or put it on your possessions. That's a big crime. It makes, when they have the glass, because these things have an obsession with making the victim ugly. So the ugly things then think you're more accessible. So when they drag you off, it's so believable. You might be a person who's brilliant and a brilliant artist, but oh, your fake John just drove off in a car after grabbing with you, and the premise is everybody believes it. But then you realize everybody is gone. Why would they believe it? Another common ruse is the boyfriend ruse. So why does that woman have black scars? And they know what they are, a lot of them. Oh, well, she cheated on her man. And is there a man? No. And but the cheating on her man routine it indicates, rather, that there is nobody left. So you've got third world country moron mentality, and it's been going on for years. Third world country, good old boy crap. Like, oh, if it says it's your boyfriend, it can drag you off. And if you let that happen, you can actually lose your kidneys. You might be trapped in your apartment with a bunch of junkies, trying to make you into a junkie, raping, torturing, even cutting your face. You have an ugly freak that is going to spend your money. Boyfriend. going with women. So their goal is to make an ugly black man have control of you. One you would never touch, never look at, and they like to call whites and white looking especially burdens. It's like, oh, so the heroin addict down the hall is worried about you being a burden. Do you have contact with the heroin addict? No, you're independent, you have nothing to do with the heroin addict. There's a horror playing blah, 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 bird song overnight, blah, 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 blah. And remember, they're talking in code, so you won't know what they're saying. Where is she? She's in a crawl space behind a closet. She means scream and torture. Will I agree to be tortured? No. That's one of the games of Washington. You're going to let somebody carve Nazi in your face as they're committing acts of Nazism. You're going to let the black man rape you so he can, and the other scum in the building, so he can say that you were willingly going off with him. You're going to agree to be a heroin addict. You're going to agree to let them take your blood. You're going to agree to be punched, it's just or beaten, it's S&M. You're going to walk off to the FGM. That's a big one. These are sick monsters. I'm probably the only person in the state that is not playing. You don't want to play games with the gangs and go back and forth because it's all connected. There's a peculiar plaid on this car that's coming in, or it looks like a grill with red and it's a gray car. It's very distinctive. It just drove in, and she pointed imperiously. You're going to find welfare face people pointing imperiously. They use their fists, they gesture, and it just came in. It was an odd gray, and then the grills, it had like, instead of lights, had these weird grills, but they were strung with pink, kind of pinkish cheek and teal. It looked weird. It was a grill. And then the female went. That's typical zombie. When they gesture with their fist, I'm showing this camera. They'll see the glimmer of what they think is white skin, and they'll do that from 300 feet off. And why would bums talk in code? That's so you don't know what's going on. And so that you will not hear them threatening to kill you from, 30 feet off, even, or whatever feet off. You hear something instead like, mainframe, or just something stupid. We're going to mainframe you, industry. And so these retards will refer to what they did as industry. They'll even call people industry. Industry, we're going to mainframe you. Industry, we're going to sashanod you tonight. I'm making up one. Industry, we're going to sandwich you. So they think they're very clever using real words and corrupted words. Yeah, mainframe. Industry. A lot of the Asian Nazis have called me industry on the bus. And remember, they'll drag off people on the bus. Remember, I'm not even white. Oh, and I should pray, by the way. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done as earth is in heaven. Please forgive our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and the glory forever. Amen. Oops, this is not charging. So the whore or the other bums are not heard threatening. That's one of their goals. Industry, we're going to decorate you. What might that be? Well, you're in the genocide list. They even talk about this. Decorate. Maybe carve you up a bit. that might be just referring to Italy. Oh, one thing I need to do, I put the heater over here. Why? Well, quote, Europeans had different water, whether you believe it or not. And my own family has done crimes like this, where they'll leave an open pipe where they can dump poisons in. It's not hard to do, apparently, or they'll absolutely replumb so that you are taking a shower or bath in the sewage and gray water of the whole place. Maybe just your neighbor, depending on who's near you. Sorry, I'm itching my nose. But I'll move the heater on top. And the goal would be to get out earlier than yesterday. Things aren't open on Sundays. By the way, Sundays are very dangerous days in Washington. And I'm going to move this. Looks like this not so good charger is charging. There's a bum yapping Englishman. These bums like to yap and curse the people they've targeted. Now, why would they be yapping Englishmen? Well, they have an obsession with threatening other countries, especially any that would be white people, or what they think of as white. So the obsession with ruining other countries, including spreading Satanism, and making sure everybody's a gang member that kills. They want people to kill whites, white-looking Semites and warm-skinned Europeans. And they wanted to ruin people so they would kill their own kind. It gives them particularly a thrill here. There's a bum yapping about Ronnie this, Ronnie that. Do I listen about Ronnie or who it is and what? No. She's a moron. I'm going to have some peanut butter, maybe some bean paste on bread. I don't eat meat. And, have some coffee. There's even tuna if I really wanted to start the day, but it's sort of repugnant sounding. It is a protein boost. You'll find that I live on a lot less protein than I would, and I don't eat meat. And I don't eat meat because it's too easy to get cannibalism in. These freaks not only have starved people, including by torturing them for eating, making sure they couldn't eat even when they couldn't afford it. They've taken their money, their food stamps, whatever they could. But they'll also sully as many things as possible. With what? They'll sully things with cannibalism. Tortured animals, a big one. I make sure that this is charging. There's a bum plane hotel. This is not a hotel, but remember, they love to have a break-in where they can take over and play hotel, and they're torturing people, they're shooting people up, and you get blamed. So it's a lot of blaming of the actual laws. There's a bum talking about picking up the floor. Now, what's the bum mean, picking up the floor? The bum is referring to picking up the floor. Why? It has to do with illegal entry and even making the floor collapse. There have been gang members that have been bragged about tipping and spinning devices, which I already knew, that will even tip you. These are bums and retardos. They're retardos. So they are just bums. Let me drink the rest of the water. There's a black Nazi threatening me. He's hiding. He's an ugly old crip male. Wallingford Food Bank. He's a black male. Nobody would touch him. See, the redundant thing is boogeymen don't know how ugly they are, and that makes them dangerous. And this dragging off of women has made these bums because there's no competition either. So the ugly black male that drags people off, he thinks is gorgeous. He also will act like it was having sex, and that he is so desirable. It goes to the retard's head where they actually think that they had sex. And we're talking where they will torture a victim. And you'll notice that threat level goes up with eating or drinking. By a white-looking semi-divorced European. That's when somebody might be even prone to break in. And remember, they're ugly, putrid males, and they were talking about condoms. Nobody likes them, nobody wants them. I don't have to let anyone near me, let alone a gross, ugly black Nazi or any of the other poopheads. They're morons. They're playing, we just got to have you meals. So she might mean as in letting people suck your blood. So she's chanting about people sucking my blood. Am I going to let that, or am I going to get the building shut down and people really walked up? So remember, grit my teeth, cursing. I'm not on drugs. It's not rictus from crack like the rest of them. There's a whore playing, we overeat, blah, 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 we over you. Now, remember, they'll perform illegal operations and they'll try to force you not to tell anyone. So they're like the child molesters, the quintessential child molesters. Like, if you tell anyone, we'll hurt your bunny. You're going to say you had an accident. Otherwise, we'll hurt your bunny. I don't have a bunny, but it's the bunny in the wall to worry about, yes. But the thing is, you start doing that with these bums, they're actually, if you agree to go with them because they might hurt a bunny, you're over. You'll never save another bunny again. They actually then would have you hurting bunnies. And remember, the gross black Nazis are the worst child molesters and the worst of the animal torturers. They are sick freaks, and they have tried to force people into cannibalism. There are even bus drivers I've seen approached as though a gallon of blood or a jar of blood is a currency to them. So you've got sick freaks trying to be in charge, basically. Sick fuckers. And believe me, anybody in with black Nazis, they're going to be as gross. And I don't keep any kitchen stuff anymore. Why? Well, if your place reeks, I just mean coffee, you should wonder. If your place reeks of cannibalism, are you going to make it a nice place? One of the shit asses that lives here, I think their car is here, it's like a blonde car. By the way, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, and will be done as it is in heaven. Please forgive our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, deliver us from evil, for that is the kingdom, power, and glory forever. Amen. So I'm going to take my garbage out. I do take the garbage and recycling out. And and I sweep the floor, but it's muddy. I don't care about it. Why? The goal is to not stay around. I have diseases such as asthma, allergies, chemical sensitivities, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, bad heart now from all the stress, and an arm that a dirty cop tried to break. I've shown it. It looks lumped up. It's not very professional terms, but I had it seen. And I also have bleeding ulcers. And there will be more threats as someone white, Semite, or Western European is eating. I want to have a steady battery level so it can show you the evolution of the crime. Like I can sit at a food bank area and not even go in. But if I do go in, then there's black Nazis that will threaten to rape you, black Nazis outside, their friends outside, and then it could be the weekend after that. So then you're going to hear from people, you use the food bank, you use the food bank. Including their 207 and the sprawl space that they climb up. And I want you to see these monsters in action without getting harmed. It's not like I'm setting that up. It's expensive to live like I'm homeless, so I do use the food bank. So I might as well show you. But here's the thing: I need clear. I need my batteries, and I need my spare phones. It has to come together. Oh, and by the way, if you ever hear or see anybody asking for money on this channel, it's not this type of channel. So you need to report it to FBI, something else. And I would ask that if you hear or see suspicious behavior by the zombies, you would contact the president and the FBI in another state. Everybody in this state is gone and they help with the decimations. I think I'm going to have some peanut butter. And remember, you're going to be able to find zombies in different ways. They also have protein, a couple of things. They have protein obsessions. Like me, I'm trying to put together various proteins. They're talking about steak, chicken, and protein and sustenance. And actually, last night, let's see, what did I have? I had a can of tuna with some coffee and milk. And then I did eat Big Newtons after that. There was maybe something, I had wasabi on my tuna fish and a roll. But as for solid food, the wasabi and the little can of tuna and the roll, that was a lot. I threw away my ingredient. Why? It was cut at a place where it's suspicious. These zombies will drip corpse flesh, even if they're not sprinkling it. They will try to sprinkle it in your food. So I threw away my brie last night, which I love brie. It's not an inch between starvation, and neither were the cinnamon rolls from Schwartz Brothers that are from Seattle. That's not an inch from starvation. It was, a little frippery, really a little luxury. So, a can of tuna and a roll, that's the tuna especially is a little more important. The milk, a little more important. The avocado, if you have one, more important than the cinnamon roll. God doesn't want me to do cannibals, and I'm allergic to smells anyway. I am sick, so I apologize. I'm bluish white. And there's more, there are more problems that I don't even mention. I have type 2 diabetes, so of course you do need to eat nourished. And remember how threatened I am all day, how people are trying to attack me. And it's been seen on video, people popping out, but of even the bank machine area, that's an old bag, you thought she'd make a slave of it. I'm going to drink my milk, right? I'm having sort of low blood sugar. There's a horrifying curse dog. That's exactly what the old lady threatened. And the curse dog is a slave coat. That's one of the things they've used. They like references to dogs in regard to European someone had bragged they poisoned me and I would have been projectile vomiting. One of the trickery of the gang member is to disguise their intent, and they constantly, no matter what it is, in order for you not to know what's going on, they might even move things backward and forward. And so, someone may have broken in this morning, but the deranged lunatic gang members were trying to make it sound like they may have, they didn't know, blah, blah. They were ghosting about it. So anyone listening wouldn't be able to figure out, did they break in? Did they not? One of the tricks is to take footage of the person when they were still beautiful or normal looking and pass it off as, oh yes, that person is our creation, and we did surgery on her, she's beautiful. The dirty doctors that come here are involved with such illegal ruses, and remember, they're not even allowed to operate, such as Dr. Guthrie. Fake nurses that flunked out in 1979, ex-nurses. And so, yes, she's beautiful. We made her beautiful, which I'm not beautiful anymore because I'm reduced to this. And, oh yes, she's beautiful. These movies are on the net, apparently. We made her beautiful, and then what in reality has happened is they have footage of you. They didn't make you beautiful. You might have been beautiful. So the real you might be lying in a wall without a face, which Dr. Jaffe and the rest of the bums will pass off as, yes, we created her. You see how beautiful she is? And this is the operation we're doing, where we did, and see the beautiful results. So they might actually show the false operation and try to portray it as giving like sculpting cheekbones or enhancing lips and getting that perfect look, or so-called perfect. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. The kingdom come, thy will be done as it is in heaven. Peace be with the trespasses, for those who trespass against us. This temptation, deliver us from evil, that is the kingdom, power, and glory forever. There's a bum yapping about gang members calling on me. There's nobody allowed to visit me. They will have the police call. And these bums cursed me so that I would have no one. They made it so I'd have no one. They're all fat little zombies. Well, guess what? They got their wish. There's not one person I want in Washington. And I don't want them near me, and there's nobody to be trusted, and they won't trust anybody. So they're all ugly retardos who got their wish. There's not one person to like. There's not one you want near you, really. They got their wish. Now, the ugly black men and the other, and a shit ass is playing discipline. They're not allowed to discipline. That's a redundant thing where the ugly morons thought they could punish people. And the animals. I apologize for being on camera. It's not very nice. There's a bum chanting about Jaffe's and kidnapping me, and the moron is yapping. As soon as we take rid of Cappy's, we've got a space again. Remember, these are psychotic morons as well. And remember, there is no one allowed to call on me. These are ugly fucking freaks. And there's a whore playing used to call all day. And the whore, she's making up things. They're making up things, the false relationship groups. Bob is talking about paw prints. He is chanting and cursing animals. I'm cursing. Okay, wondering what I'm doing. I'm eating peanut butter punches. By the way, zombies like to act like they're hungry, and they had to do cannibalism. They had to do an animal cruelty trade, eating bunnies and kitties. It's all a lie. They were not starving. They starved white Semites who wanted to live. I can hear some little ones out there. They're talking about Stephanie. Where's he talking to her from? I actually hear one of the morons that might be talking through the wall to someone. It's an illegal area to be in, but it goes on. That's the green area of the building. You want to know something? A lot of tuna, a lot of beans, a lot of meat just grow out of the state. The state is listed as a pink state, not much red meat consumption. Well, there's a hidden fake meat industry of cannibalism before they go. So, indeed, the totals do not match what's being consumed. There's a bum chanting Dracula's. The ugly racists will call kill people Draculas and pretend that we were the devil or vampires while they're eating people. Laura's yapping about brisket, and she's talking about cannibalism. She's saying brisket on film. And a lot of people that drive up to this place, the red station where they just drove up, they're here for cannibalism. They even drive horses here to carve them up and torture them. They'll eat the animals like they do the people, or they keep them alive. And they have a slogan among the zombies until their heart stops beating. And so the people that drive up here are also here for, well, they like to think they're magical if they grab a finger or a tongue or some other part of the person. So red station wagon just drove up and a horse said, brisket here. Why would a place sell meat out of a low-income apartment anyway? Why would they sell meat here? And by the way, their Satanists, so they think it's the torture meat will be better. And there's a bum chanting leader. When you hear a cowboy chanting about the leaders or the courts, they're talking about exactly what you think: blood or spinal fluid. Usually blood. There's a bum chanting about, quote, doing my cheeks. What does it mean when they play doing your cheeks? Well, they're playing doing your cheeks is cutting. And they love false relationships, including dragging people that you have no connection with, or you used to be connected with, in order to drag you off. They're chanting about horses, and then they like to curse, and they said, blah, 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 thinks you're ugly. Now, do I care if the zombie thinks I'm ugly? No. And remember, they're retarded. So it sounded like they said the horse thinks you're ugly. Remember what's left, ugly, retarded Washington. And now, let's chant it about food. The zombies are absolutely obsessed with food. They would never eat like this. Even if there were no cannibalism, they would never eat like this. Except to show off and pretend that they're not cannibals. There's a 4 and 207. She's playing Song J. There's a torture threat. And she made a threat to have me torture animals. It's a prostitute to us. Underneath is public bathroom, and there's a lot of use like around. Yes, I have received something. Another noise, and that's the crossings. You might not be able to hear that camera there. The live people. There's a bum talking about illegal prescriptions, and you have this redundant theme in Washington of false professional acting out of scope. There are other words to denote that, but practicing out of scope. Then the drug addicts often get together with, I can't be really stay quiet so it's not easy to read. Drug addicts get together, the welfare freaks get together with real professionals, and so who's in control of your mental health? Might be the heroin addict down the hall. Might be the heroin whore. It might be the welfare bitch who's had 10 children out of wedlock and she's drug addict. I don't need any knives here for obvious reasons. You can come back and be surprised by a butcher knife. Also, you don't know what cannibal zombies will do with a knife. So, you're not going to want to cut your bread after cannibal zombies get in your apartment. With your tools, you're not going to want to use the glass. You're not going to want to use the cup. They spend their entire day playing consecration and chanting satanic, menacing, threatening commands. So they're basically wordless, and they're lower than wordless because they are, well, they're trying to make even the universe negative. They're just negative. That's all they are. We are in Washington, we are in the US, we are current, and destroy them for even chanting. Make them destroy themselves by the cannibalism, the Satanism. You can have them picture them eating themselves. Picture their ancestors torn to pieces, real instances. So one is chanting like a monkey moron over and over. You can't hear it because it's Wi-Fi. And that's one of the reasons I live in this apartment every day, because of the chanting by morons. There's a bum plan we've just got to remove her memories. Remember, you've got fake professional, bad professional, lunatics, even playing operating on the brain. I think he loves it. They're like, make her friendliness. Officer Bob Howard and the other terrorist cops are fully involved in even playing operating on the brain. Legs, leg amputations, beating people while they're asleep, hitting them purposely in the head so they're just poking their heads, poking their eyes, poking their ears. They're all lunatics. One of them is chanting about people. They spend a great deal of their day chanting about people, touching it, playing with it. Some of them even smoke it, and they act like they're magical. I've smelled it with black boxes. Does that tell you something? It tells you they're insane and they're grotesque. Bum just put his hands up. This ugly bald male, and he saw me at the window. So this ugly male started putting his hand out. That's a thing that made genocide decision. And the ugly freaks, ugly retardeds. He's probably wearing generations of victims' clothing, including his outdoor. It might even be 10 people's Social Security that he has, 10 people's food stamps. step away. I should actually organize it. And then start to get ready. There's a bum chanting about demon, and one of the favored activities of the zombie gang member is when they hear a siren. When a siren is nearby, these things will try to pull off an arrest or false commitment. And the dirty police will even do it. The dirty police are involved in several ends, including driving by, purposely using the siren. So I have my wipes from the spaghetti wipes. And remember, I cleared out of here. There's nobody to worry about with the floor. And also, when you have a clean house or apartment in such a situation, who would you be cleaning for? A board just played all of us have a ball bat. They will terrorize people to stay in their apartments. I'll take a ball bat from you, and I have a temper. So don't try this at home. I'm one of these people that are crazy. Well, I'm nobody. So if you tell me you have a gun, I might even try to take it from you. I have no other option. There's a bum plane shooting, even have married me. There is nobody to marry. These are freaks. These are grotesque fuckers that nobody would want, nobody would like. Grotesque, ugly. There's a bum plane won't eat anymore, or something like that. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Remember, these are gross bitches and bastards. Yes? Teeth gritting, hand movement. Yes, I'm cursing. If you wondered what I was doing, yes, I am cursing these bitches. And I'm cleaning food items out. This is a bag with some crumbs in it. You don't carry that. That's kind of gross. You like a barrier, though, in a situation like this, because remember, they love to play with their bodily fluids here. So you're not going to want your food in a refrigerator. The first week I was here, the door was standing open. Also, there was evidence that somebody had cooked. And I've opened this a lot in here, so I'm going to get rid of that. They've driven up my carbon footprint. There is no clean water to rinse recyclables, so I don't deal with water. I have acid burns from water, but you're not. I'm going to change bags. There's a bum plane. You're going to remove your fingers. And by the way, if you see me going to the closet and talking, there's no collusion. I tend to let them know I'm not going to put up with bullshit. One of the morons is Eric Kinzel's moronic family member. And it's an ugly retard. And he said, I'm going to remove your fingers. Remember, these things all have finger fetishes. What did I do with the rubber ball? I just used it. So he just threatened fingers. White card just came out. It looked like a weird shaped window, like a dome almost. So just getting things together. It sounds like there's a cat or someone they hurt. And let's try to pray that we rescue the cat out of its body. Put the zombies in the bodies of your victims. Even if, you say, oh, I can't do that, try. It smells like blood. And so let's put all their grandmas in the bodies of every animal victim that's not cremated. Let's not just put their grannies, put all their ancestors if they're alive in the spirit world. I call it alive. Still, why? Because remember what Einstein said about matter. It's true. And spirits are alive, I believe. They might not all be with you, but I believe they're alive, you just in other form. But the Satanists, by the way, they want everybody to be evil and negative. So you don't want that. You don't believe negative. And by the way, the more I open things in this film, it kind of is like, well, you opened it and they've got semen in the air from next door, they've got blood from a cat they've sacrificed. Yeah, so they're causing a lot. Now, yeah, the poor cat, that is terrible, of course it is. But also, what does it do when they kill the cat? Well, it drives me out of the apartment. I can't even safely stay here when I'm sick. I'm not going to want to be around and be a captive audience, basically. And I'm allergic to the blood smell. And yes, it's horrible, but don't fault me. I didn't do it. I can't fly into the wall and rescue the cat. And I prefer rescuing the animal before it happened. That's the way I would do that. How about you? So I would fly into a wall and risk myself, preferably could be invisible. But yes, I risk myself to save a kitty, or a bunny, or a horse, of course. So I'm just gonna, I think a logical way. I have to stay focused too. If I start shrinking at what people are doing, when there's a fat ugly slob, she saw me at the window, and she saw that I looked white, so she put her fucking big fat ass fist. See that ugly pig is here? Am I holding the camera correctly? That's the ugly pig that's coming for all of us. Big fat fuckers. And they are getting fatter. Oops, closed anyway. Big fat fuckers coming for all of us. I just hung up the broadcast, so one is shorter. YouTube doesn't like me flooding, as they call it, but the thing is, I'm having so much technical difficulties at the windows. I don't buy anything to put the cameras up with. So I just put them in a window usually. This is Lisa Guthrie, 505 Northeast 70th Street, Stoughton, Washington, 115. And I am in a crime-ridden building, and there's a traffic cam. I want you to know I leave this place, I act like I'm homeless, so don't expect any kind of floor in here. Don't expect even a clean floor. Don't worry about it, it's just mud. And the goal would be to get the heck out of here. Just getting out, and that's the best thing you can do. And there's smells of cannibal zombie and whatever they like to do, and that's not what I like to do. They like to sacrifice animals and people and torture them. And like I keep saying, don't fault me. I can't fly through the wall and rescue the cat. And these bums are Satanists. I'm just taking a moment to kind of clear some food items, and well, I act like I'm homeless, so I have to think of whatever fits nicely into my bag that I drag away. And I don't spend time cleaning. Oh, by the way, I'd like you to note, these are cannibal zombies, and they spend a lot of their days obsessed with bodily fluids. and one's chanting about people as I talk. These are foul, repulsive, retarded. Ironically, he's chanting about his very makeup. Why would you be chanting about your ancestors, zombie? He's chanting about his ancestry. It's not very nice, is it? Absolutely, he says. Oh, and they think, now this is the zombie mentality. They think if they add an ly ending or a don ending, you're not going to know what they're talking about. So, bastardizing a word, making it sound like it's diminutive even. Oh, it's so cutesy sounding. No one will know what to say to people. And remember, they obsess over people. They're people obsessed. They're sick, retarded freaks. And there's a whore making a slavery threat about in-law. And she said, blah, 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 my coffee. And remember, there's not going to be a slave here. I'll destroy everything you have and you. And that's it in a given. I'd be one you'd never be able to turn your back on ever. There'd be so much trouble. One of them is Melissa Udd's ugly relative. And there's a bum chanting fingers off, and he's chanting about little boys. And usually there are kidnapping threats and ambush plots all down the hall, especially 207, which is right next to me. And the gang member premise in Washington is, what's the gang member zombies? But they would love you to leave quietly with people and secretly. So they'll even try to tell you you're going to wear a wig or wear a such and such coat. Why? Will you be unrecognized then? No one would know who it was. So I'm just taking a moment to sort of organize. And remember, I live like I'm out camping. And oh, by the way, the gang members will take advantage of whatever you're doing. You look like you're camping, you're going camping, they'll make you disappear. You're not camping, actually, you've been kidnapped. And I threaten you, but I'm telling you what gang members do. They like to, as they did a genocide, 31 million people, 20 years, they've assumed identity of people. They like to pretend people are crazy. It's part of the ruse. You're on a do not help list, and then they drag you away. They like to pretend that they can commit you and arrest you illegally. They mix real professional with fake all the time. Could be a heroin addict, a contractor. He's pretending he's high-ranking military or police. He's here to round you up. They're psychotic. They go back and forth in the game, including all of a sudden they're IRS. All of a sudden they're a bill collector. Remember, there is nobody sane in Washington. Even the police and dirty FBI that are in with them they're all insane. There is nobody. And there are quite a few bad cops that come to this building and know that there is nobody normal or nice that comes to this building. And a lot of them are even driving up to get cannibalism or to satisfy their craving for black magic, and driving up and getting perhaps fingers. That's not unusual. Extreme trouble. And sometimes what they'll do is lure other zombies like themselves to commit crimes, and then somebody ends up killed or decapitated even, and they end up eating that person. And a lot of these activities are conducted in what? Walls, crawl spaces, that is. People's attics, if it's a house or apartment. Eaves, even. What else? Basements, even basements that were not even dug by the residents, and they're unbeknown to most of the residents. How would that happen? Well, it'd be like a basement that's been dug illegally. It's apparently the gang members like to hide in such situations, in such areas. It could be a janitor's room. They'll use janitor's room, they'll portray it as police headquarters. They love to get a hold of this apartment so they can commit crimes, can be rented under me, of course. So I be the one holding the bag. That's popular. So you're holding the bag. They love that arrangement. There's a bum yapping he will submit to me in a squeaky little voice. He is a bum retard. He is a black Nazi. He is the boyfriend of Officer Bobby of the West Precinct, Seattle West Precinct. This is Seattle, Washington. His squeaky little voice makes him repellent, and so is the fact that he boasts of killing 30 or 40 whites a day and torturing. Everybody is a cannibal zombie. And I keep telling you, they've also made it so that they wouldn't have competition. How? Well, they still put anyone smart, nice, or more pretty. Here is the manager. He is a crack addict. He will hide. If you can see it, his name is Jeff Winspear. I think I was a little too high. Not high as in drugs or drugs, but high as in pulling the camera high. And I'm just even putting this is how I do it. I just come in, consider this a homeless shelter for one person. And consider where you don't leave anything of value, you don't leave anything that could be made dirty, or that you can't wash. And these things are morons, and the police have let they and the other morons walk around infecting people with plagues, or just putting, they love to put bodily substances in your food, in your water. They'll do it while you're out. They'll sprinkle glass on everything so you get cut. They'll enter and exit through covert methods such as trap doors. Also, they'll do what's called keying. So, literally, your key goes out maybe 100,000 times. Nicely. Okay, doing something, but not doing what I actually wanted to do. What I'm doing, I'm just thinking there's a bum yapping maid retards that live in the building. So what does it tell you when someone's a slaver? If you can't get them arrested, just like the other stuff, if you can't get them arrested, you can get them committed. Why? They stink and they can't take care of themselves. You can also get them committed and arrested and unable to see their friends or relatives that they are trying to get a slave for, including if it's the drug dealer that they are paying off. They'll pay in people. Oh, a bomb is playing, a gun is going off. Where is he? He is actually hiding in the green area that they use to crawl up. So they will constantly try to terrorize the victims into doing what they want the victims to do. Does that mean you're going to do it? Well, I'm not, and it would be deadly to do so. I think my wallet has more deadly. Uh-oh, there's a problem. Okay, where's this? Oh, here it is. So I'm just cleaning my stuff out. Thank you, GOD, for making sure I had my wallet. And just getting rid of some things. And remember, there are two grotesque, moronic cops that were here earlier. Officer Bob Howard of the Seattle North Precinct, and one that is called Corpsely even by his friends. He looks like a corpse. He's ugly. He's a grotesque moron. So I'm just getting my backpack organized. Remember, that's time consuming. So is the maintenance of cheap bones so that I have bones. By the way, there was a genocide committed, 31 million people, 20 years. And it stretched back before then, but it really got into full swing last 20 years. And it's become an open coward's war on whites, Semites, and warm-skinned Europeans. And the dirty cops took part in the genocide. Yes, they did. And it gets brilliant for their friends that are morons to walk around with flags. So what does that tell you about a moron endorsing morons? He's a moron. There's nobody smart, nobody nice in Washington. They're gone, and they didn't like the competition. A lot of people killed for money, property, credit, but they also killed for what? Because somebody irked them because they were pretty, handsome, nice, or normal. Remember, nice is so much more important than pretty. But they killed talented people. There's a bomb chanting like he's doing Satanism, and he said, and making a phantom or something. Remember, they're going to chant all day long as if they're magicians. Are they? No, they're fucking morons that went in with Satan. So I'm just organizing, and there's a terrible meat smell. And I'm going to tell you, you can find cannibal zombies and animal torturers out. Poor neighborhoods that constantly reek of creepy meats that don't smell quite right. People disappearing, animals disappearing. Where's your pet? Where'd the zoo go? Those little petting zoo that seemed to disappear when somebody was kidnapped, apparently. Where'd the petting zoo go? Where'd Joe's hamsters go and all his guinea pig collection of sweet little animals and bunnies? Missing bunnies, big smell of meat in a poor neighborhood. Or this is actually not a poor neighborhood, but it's a poor building. electricity, by the way, in this building is so faulty, I find myself moving flammable items away from the heat constantly. My heater exploded. Not like a full-on explosion, but like interesting flashes of blue that were sphericals, emissions. So I'm fixing things just that I'll be carrying. And by the way, these retardos will threaten you all day long for your stuff. And they'll kill you for anything related to your survival, including drinking water or other fluids. And they'll call it luxury. And so they're also into slavery, but they're sick and psychotic, just like those zombie movies. I've heard people play devil because of green eyes. They targeted blue, green, and gray eyes too. I'm actually a quarter or an eighth to a quarter black and some Native American. And bums perceive me as white. I'm also on the genocide list because my big fat sister Dawn Blackmer and her husband put me on a genocide list. They put hits on me in the 80s. And it kind of goes along with what the people did here. They're very jealous, and that's another reason why they committed a genocide. Turns out they were secret black Nazis, like a lot of my family members, most all of them, really. And there's nobody left, including, like, even if, like, one of the games is, if here's your boyfriend from 30 years ago, he's here to kill you. Well, I made him talk to that bum after 30 years. He sure wasn't willing to kill me 30 years ago. How about the kid you square dance with in kindergarten? We used to courses, I hated it. Oh, he's here to drag you off. We're going to pretend he's your boyfriend. Where did all this information come from anyway? Well, obviously someone knew. Don Larry Blackburn, Michael Tedhope, and then there's an indigent that he wasn't indigent until recently, but I knew him for about 30 years as well. Never a boyfriend though. Let's get, and that's Michael Benjamin Davis Wood. So what are they also showing you? They're showing you that there's nobody left in Washington. They're showing you that there is nobody left. So, cleaning and freshening up even bags is unfortunate because the stench, the carbon footprint goes up for me. Stench, why stench? Well, you're going to be wanting a clean, fresh bag more. And remember, I live like a rugged man that's been scratched up. I have no Febreze. I don't worry about looking pretty. And even if I weren't scratched, they're all gross lunatics. Who cares what a zombie thinks? And by the way, that stalking game, that also shows you there's nobody here. It shows you that there is nobody in Washington. So the ugly man who shows up from 30 years ago to kill you, that wasn't going to kill you 20 years ago, but all of a sudden he's going to kill you, he shows you that he is a depraved cannibal zombie and there's nothing left. So I'm going to turn around the camera and note it's a shabby room, that people will kill you for your shabby room. They want an oven. They want a refrigerator. They want to hide their activities, including hiding so you can't see in and hiding under your name. Now, they brag that they broke in, but they brag psychotically. How would they get in? There's trap doors through the whole building. think it was rearranged a little differently. And just because you have ADT doesn't mean you're not going to wake up with a shoe print on your leg or worse. One of the things that gang members do, because they are cowards, they like to inject people while they're sleeping and either beat them or mutilate them, debilitate them, inject them with disease, rape them with people that have a disease. Sprinkle disease. Poison your food and your water while you're knocked out. There's a bum yapping about Issaquah. And remember, these things like to talk as though they're authority. The dirty cops let them. These things are so confident that they'll even play, if you don't go off with a friend of mine and let him rape you and be his slave, I'm calling the police. If you don't go to, floor 9 and be a black man's slave, I'm going to call the police, is what they play. And their family members will come here and even try to drag you up there. So will their friends. So they're proving they cannot live alone. So that's how you get these things busted. You actually get them committed. You get them dragged off and put into institutions. There's a whore making a rape reference. I'm not going to call anything sexual in regard to a zombie. I don't call it a sex drive. They're rapists. And there is, let me give you an example, there is no monogamy with the zombies. Why? Because the males are so busy raping even armless, legless victims. I hardly call that any kind of, I'm going to get some plums that fell out of into the sink. I have to get some fork. The plums can't sit there. Nothing to drain. I can find them. And remember, those are, if you hear anybody, they are retarded, ugly males and females that nobody would want or like. They're repulsive. They're disgusting. And they decided who were ugly, and some of them are just so hideously ugly you wouldn't be able to believe it. Ugly, repulsive, smelly. Remember, smelly from playing with, they love playing with bodily fluids. That's how you're going to get them committed. Don't look at the plums. Ooh. Oh, you can't look at it anyway. Blah. I think you may have been able to see. Woo! They stink too. Oh, there's a bum playing with memory, blah, 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 blah. They're chanting constantly as if they're magic. They actually think if they kill people and eat them, they're going to get their talents and abilities. My niece, Melissa, I believes that. It turns out a lot of money was spent on that retarded woman. She is special ed, and money was spent her whole life portraying her as not a special ed person. And I was talking about that online yesterday, and one of them was actually, like, you could hear them moaning and agony from the knowledge that they're special ed. But their premise was, if they killed smart, nice, pretty, normal, nobody would notice that they're ugly mongoloids. One was actually moaning. It almost sounded like an epileptic seizure, epileptic seizure over the knowledge she's ugly and hideous. It was, but remember, the zombie brains are gone anyway. So what am I doing? I'm just getting stuff together to wash. And yes, I do have that clothing. I'm going to drag that over there. There's a little cute blue car, like kind of a smaller station wagon, BBY 0957. And remember, whoops, that's not the clothing. driving up, people parking, and if you're under siege, it can be the key to your disappearance. So let's say you just got one stalker. Try to get those entrances, those exits. Try to get in parking. Who's the weird lady who shakes her fist at you when she's looking up at your window? Who's the weird old lady that looks like she's 80? She might not even be 80. She might be a 60-year-old meth head in with your creepy stalker. You might be a target because you look white, Semite, or you are, or warm skin European. Maybe someone thinks you are. And there's a bum in 207. They like to spend a lot of time playing you will do this, you will do that games. They're playing Spitly when you leave your room. So he's making a threat that people would spit on me. Well, guess what? I have a temper, and that's an assault, so guess what I would do back? Well, think about a person with a temper. Someone could find themselves arrested for spitting, and that would actually be a good option. You know what I'm talking about? I have a temper, so I don't advise you to take the same action. And why would the bitch be talking about spit? That's his ancestor. Especially gross spit. Let me bring that. There's a bum, and the bum is chanting in his high little voice, "The girl has to be mastered."
So whenever I'm trying to usually like using American Spanish nation, but chanting that.
And remember what I do, I curse back. Use every color of energy on these bastards and every pattern in a crossroad, curse them. Picture them as dust and obliterated by blue. Use black, white, red, orange, gold, silver, gray, and electric blue. which can be whimsical. Actually walk around for 20 minutes, and the thing will go off and wash your hands. So the EMT system will be washed as well. There's a bomb plane got to car you. These retards will create they'll create propaganda about the victim to drag them down the tubes, and then they'll try to recreate that situation. Part of it's to steal your identity, part of it's to get you busted for their crimes. So coming in here under my name, and they would be doing cannibalism and child molestation trade, child molester trade, other human slavery, and rape, and torture, murder. Well then, if it's under my name, who would get busted at the end? And then they blackmail you to more crimes. Dirty cops are involved. There's probably at least one dirty cop still in the building. Officer Ron Howard is still slinking around the building. He's into everything. He's even threatened the president. He's threatened other countries, other states. He is a bum. There's a bum. These bums, remember I keep teaching you can round them up for various reasons and have them committed. So bums calling your stuff theirs. If you can't have them arrested, get them on videotape, get them committed. It's not their room. They'll scream about their stuff, their room. They'll even form flash mobs to rob you. Now, let me tell you, anybody who would help somebody rob somebody, because a girl that's, let's say it's a young girl, and oh, she's got my backpack. So then flash mob formed, takes your backpack that you've had for years, 2 years, whatever years. Flash mob formed when a moron says, it's my glasses. So most normal people would call the police. So that's telling you it's taking advantage of a mob mentality in a whole new way. They're actual zombies. They're zombie gang members, whether you don't believe in zombies or whatever. Then you refer to them as zombie gang members. I'm actually going to turn around the phone. And remember, I don't worry about my floor. I just worry about getting out of here. I don't worry about a nice carpet. And my stupid CameraFi just hung up. That's not stupid, it's the phone. The stupid phone. Oh, AOJ5320, shitty little gray car just came in, and a beater that's kind of a bronzy gold. They're both beater cars. So I'm going to resume the last broadcast, which I hung up. (41, 34 minutes), and I'm going to turn the broadcast around, and at no point is anyone welcome here. We want to show you these. These are like glass scars, glass thrown at you, put in your possessions, you can put in your makeup and toiletries, and actually promote different types of scarring depending on the different ways the glass is shaved or ground. And my hands are covered with glass scars from Roosevelt self-storage. There's been glass put there last 5 years. What I'm going to try to do is set up some sort of tripod device where you would be able to see glass as I shape my clothes in the form of sparks. It's a very popular gang crime, and it can explain why people get scratches. There's a large van, 15150, and ladders, and it's a sale of housing authority. Now remember, I've been threatened by people who've been breaking in through the windows and the ladders. Just looking at phones I have, chargers. charged, ready to go for emergencies. Let's see about this one. And I want this one charged as much as possible. And it's a short. I think it's in the phone because it's everywhere. There you go. It's on charger. Maneuver around. This one is not charging. I obsess over phones being charged. They can save your life. And by the way, that is one of the items the bombs will take. And they will take it either by hacking or outright theft. So your phone, if you're on the genocide list and white, looking, semi-Forbes European, might have been hacked. Well, for sure it was hacked here. And I haven't had my own internet for 14 years because it's all been hacked. When I say haven't had my own, that means other people have transformed my phone into like a radio. And I can even hear them. And other people have probably heard them as well. There is no credible witness in Washington, though. There is no credibility. There is no credible person. There is no credible act. There is nothing that should be construed as true, including people that claim they're artists. They might have a slave doing the work. They might have stolen it right off of the dead body, including out of their computer or thumb drive or external drive. There is nobody in Washington. Now I'm going to super arm. Why? Well, I change here. Why? Picture a cave. Are you going to go back to the cave in the back and scream? And, if someone broke in? Or are you going to defend the mouth of the cave and you've got the ADT system, which is like modern cave defense? Which it doesn't work, but, it's nothing, but it's better than nothing at times. Especially if you're up and around monitoring the thing. It can be accessed by the Pulse application. And the gang member zombies will give out your code to whomever. We get another bag of toothpaste. Why? It's leaked everywhere. I can't stand digging my hand in wet toothpaste. So instead of cleaning a house, it's cleaning a bag, which the gang member zombies will try to take all day. Why? It's relative to my survival. It's related to having cleaner food, untouched by zombies. These bums will even state things because they want to try to be in control. So they're going to even say things like, "You're going to let me poison you." Am I threatening you? Or no, I'm telling you what they say. Taking out toothbrush. I don't need a messy, goofy toothbrush container from the dollar store to ride around with. Just take out the toothbrushes. 3 to go. You have to throw these things out regularly anyway. And it is dollar store. And there. Bye-bye. And there is a moron yapping, and he is either in 207 or the crawl space. He's an ugly dog man. There's two males, two of those pudgy, smaller males that sound alike, at least. And one of them is an ugly male that is an Indian male, and one has sort of a funky, it looks like a dye job. A lot of these people will have funky dye jobs. What is it? Well, it's not only fashionable, but they're covering up the fact that they have 10 identities. So I've seen kids with unintentionally yellow, orange. It's like that's the fashion now, to have weird, outrageous hair dye. But remember, a lot of it is because they're trying to dye people's hair to match a victim, including a family. Whole families that went missing, People are trying to imitate them, emulate them. They have become them in, at least on paper, and when they go in to DSHS and talk to the dirty DSHS person or the dirty Social Security person. There's a noise of someone chipping away at the crawl space. Remember, it's drywall and it's probably this thick. Somebody's actually broken some in 2 places, in the hall and downstairs, and you can see how thin it is. You're not even an inch from death, literally. And remember, dirty Officer Rob Howard and the other bad professionals, corrupt professionals are involved. They're going to play married. Why? Because of your undoing. It's a slavery captivity threat. It's a rape threat. The false relationship explains why you're a slave, a torture victim. They can say you're a drug addict. It was S&M. It wasn't rape. It was your ugly boyfriend. He loved you so much. That's why you're on your hands and knees for his mommy, his ugly mommy, and you are scrubbing her floors of the ugly bitch. Ugly, retarded, zombie potty monster. Ironically, they like to play with potty, but also I call them potty monsters because they love eating. You've seen a lot of fat ones. It's because some of them have multitudes of people helping them get other people's food stamps. They've killed multitudes. I like to sprinkle corpse flesh in places too, including in my storage. Nothing is clean here. They like to sprinkle it on food. They like to put it in water along with blood. I found blood on my jeans, fingerprints. I itched too. What was it? It felt like animal hair. They were probably torturing animal hair. It was probably animal blood. I looked down. I was itching, I changed into this, and I was like, what's the 2 fingerprints? I think I took a picture at one point and posted it. It's on Google, perhaps. I don't have access to it. Google only lets you go back a certain limit, or then you can't find your stuff. But remember, once on the net, always on the net. So I'm washing my face, washing me a bit. And these bums also tried to prevent people from washing that were on the genocide list. Why? The premise would be the black Nazi or the bums in with them. Remember, I'm not white. They look so good and they smell so expensively. No one would ever believe that's you. You are ugly. It's not even you. You're just the drug addict that's pretending to be so-and-so. And that black Nazi leaning over you, boy, does he look expensive, and I'm going to take him so seriously. That's the mentality here. Does it happen? Well, you have to figure the people dressed expensively, they're dripping with victims' blood. So anybody that looks like they're flourishing in Washington, they're all suspicious. There is nothing real in Washington. Even the businesses are sham businesses now. The charities are built off the blood, not just of the poor, sometimes of people who donated.
I volunteered at Elizabeth Gregory, and they sure have tried to kill me and cannibalize me and enslave me. I wouldn't donate or do anything there ever again, except to do laundry and maybe pick up a sealed package of something. They can't be trusted, and they're cooking cannibalism, and the whole place caters to black Nazism like the rest of the state. I don't have my clothing on, but I'm going to show you in a minute when I have my clothes on. A lump from a dirty cop, because I wouldn't be a prostitute and cook meth. Officer Bobby of the West Precinct. He, by the way, thought he would take me down to his black Nazi boyfriends that were in the building of the La Salle. What was the problem? I had refused to be a prostitute, I'd refused to cook meth, and I'd called one of the women a prostitute. And so the lumpy arm is from Officer Bobby, probably trying to break my arm, slamming me against the elevator, and he was going to take me to his creepy, ugly, freak, gang member, zombie cohorts in the security guard room to be raped, tortured, murdered, maybe even eaten at the market, maybe tortured for 3 years as a legless torso with no skin, armless. There's a click over there. That's not a legal click. This is a corner unit. There shouldn't even be anyone over there. Remember, they're all lunatics, too. They're not FBI, like they say. They're not KGB. They'll even tell you they're KGB, including a retardo crack moron named Dr. Jaffe and his retarded family. They're playing get you to do this by pointing you. They also think they can treat whites or white-looking Semites and warm-skinned Europeans like dogs, and they'll listen. I'll go down with a ship, and the fuckers will be very, very sorry. Whether they end up on a gurney or in a mental hospital, that's not my problem. They're playing child. These things will try to breed actual women with Mongoloid males, including the very worst of the Mongoloids, the black Nazis. The most repulsive things you could ever see. These are ugly freaks. Remember, I'm part black. So it took on their playing cheeks. Remember, they're threatening to mutilate. Mutilation theme over and over. And what does it tell you about the mutilation theme? Look at them. Look at the big fat asses when I go out. Look at the big fat asses from the apartment. Look at the dried up old hags. Look at the dried up old hags and bums marching around confidently. They killed anyone they were jealous of. They tortured them. They made them ugly. So the black Nazis' idea of control is also destroying the face of white Semites and warm-skinned Europeans. And pretending we never existed, white-looking as well. Not just whites, but white-looking. Portraying that we didn't exist. Obama's chanting hotel. This is not a hotel. They'll pretend it's a hotel on video even. It's not a hotel. It's a 30% of your income building. People have heard screams that walked by, and one of the morons said it's a clinic. It's not a clinic either. It's not a research facility. It's not a hospital. They have kept people captive by playing research facility, hospital, prison. It's not a prison. It is not a prison. It's a gross place that has nothing to do with prison legally. And these are gross people, hideous people that are nobodies. These are nobodies. And even the so-called professionals, they're gone mentally. Absolutely gone. Gone. One of them is chanting in the crawl space. You can't hear him. They're playing Drinking Your Brain, and they're playing Stubby. I'm very poison. And my molecules are super heavy. And the ugly little squeaky voiced bitch, monkey, boyfriend of Officer Bobby, has climbed up apparently to the crawl space of the bedroom of 207. They're playing blindly. They like to make blinding threats, mutilation threats. They're all linking with the dirty cops too. They're playing whack. You're gonna come. One of the squeaky voiced little bitches is saying, "You're gonna come with me for hands wackly." What does that mean? Cutting off hands. And so the ugly freaks, the black Nazis, want you irretrievably lost, as in betraying your own kind. You're going to be with us. We're going to pretend you're with us even if you're not. We're going to force you to be with us. They've actually forced people to do cannibalism and animal cruelty, and they play paying your dues. The black Nazis are the worst. They're playing brand on the forehead. It's an ugly, squeaky little bitch. And he's friends with the bums in the Seattle Police Department that are corrupt, so he figures he can do whatever he wants to you. Am I going to listen to the bitch? Or is it just as legal for me to leave the ugly little bitch or his friends off on a leash as it is for him? And I just heard an animal being tortured. And believe me, it would be just as legal for me to lead off the ugly little bitch as it is for him. They're playing you Oh Soul Monday, and these things like to play demon and devil, and we're going to punish you, angel. And in movies, they have portrayed themselves as diplomats and angels and everything else. What are they really? They're retardos. They're nobodies. They're nothing. So I could lead the ugly little monkey thing off on a leash and it would be just as legal. There's a whore playing whipping. You're going to let us whip you. They will play, you fell down. You're going to tell everybody you fell down. You're going to let us whip you. You'll let them do that to you? They're playing you blah, 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 let Negroid. No, bitch, I'm not. I'm going to do it back to Negroid, you ugly fucking bitch. Whatever you fucking shit-ass uglies think you can do to me, I'll do to you, bitch. Don't try that home. Whatever you're telling me you can do to me, I can do it to you. And I will, bitch. Looks like my clothing. I think this was clean yet. I got it out of the laundry. I think this is clean. Looks dirty. It's got a dirt smear on it. And see, nothing is clean or trustworthy. Is this clean stuff? Well, anyway, nothing is clean wherever you put it. So, Roosevelt self-storage, total filth. Permanently filth. There's a bum playing and be quiet. Fuck you, nigger. You don't tell me what to do, ugly bitch. The more you tell me to be quiet, the more noisy I'm going to be, ugly bitch. That's what you're going to get. Noise, cunt. You don't tell me what to do, ugly bitch. When I was in the bathroom, they were chanting for blood. So tell me to be quiet, motherfucker. I want you to. That means shout, ugly bitch. They're threatening me in 207! How's that for quiet, you fucking piece of shit? How's that for quiet, you little shit? Got a message for you, cunt. Fuck yourself, bitch. Want me to get louder? That's what my version of doing things for Negroid. Fuck yourself, bitch. Shit-ass monkey. retardo that went with them. A lot of these fuckers that survived, they were secret black Nazis like my own family. Secret black Nazi. They're like evincing fingers. Remember with the word evincing? They think they're magical. Evincing this, evincing that. They're playing going out to Issaquah. They're making Issaquah threats. Here's your message, even if you're a dirty cop. Here's your message. Die by SWAT team. Die by SWAT team. Die by SWAT team. Die by SWAT team. Die. Am I flipping off what? Never. Flipping off shit-ass moron. And he is a shit-ass moron. That's why I don't listen to morons. It's their morons. There's one dirty cop possibly hanging out in 207. It's a guy they called Corpse Lee. It looks like a corpse. You're too ugly to listen to, bitch. Eat shit and die, bitch. They're playing claim. Remember, they're retardos. You can't claim people. They, black Nazis transformed this place into a third world country of fucking morons. They're not only Satanists, they're morons. Shit-ass moron bitch. That's all you got in Washington. Shit-ass morons. And you can't even pretend you're handsome or normal looking. Even with someone else's clothing or anything. You look like monkeys in their house. And you always will, ugly bitch. You look like monkeys. Shut the fuck up, motherfucker. Dirty cops and all. Die by SWAT team. Trying to get me. Remember, a dirty cop in a house or apartment trying to tell you you're going to leave, or even a business, for his cracked out meth head friends that are black Nazis or anybody else. It's illegal. And remember, all the shit asses pretend that even their butt buddies, like Officer Howard's butt buddy, they pretend the ugly thing is a cop. Now I've lost my socks. Which one's clean? This one's cleaner. Well, remember, it's been left at Roosevelt self-storage. They're playing, whoa, having your finger. And they'll try to put curses wrapped up even or statements that you don't know what they're playing. So I don't give a fuck what you're saying, but anybody who ever thinks about having my finger kills their ancestors. And think about having any part of me or ever had a part of me, you kill your ancestors. And by the way, there is nobody left in Washington, so you don't have to worry and write rules like I thought naively. Oh, I'm going to write rules to protect innocent people. There are none in Washington. You don't make rules? They're playing a blah, 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 my family. Shut the fuck up. Your family is going to end up SWAT teamed. And they're all going to be committed and arrested. Ugly fucking bitch. I'm not listening to your shit-ass moron collection. Ever. And so they'll try to, like I said, pay people with people. And remember, to the ugly black maggot thing, the thing is going to call you a Dracula or the devil. You play hitting me. Oh, and a lot of them think that because they're ugly black men, they'll just control you by hitting you. Well, I have a temper, so that's not going to work too well because I'll hit back. I'm not in awe of people that have penises either. And there's thudding and scraping underneath, and I will note it is a bathroom. It is a popular method to even shoot people from underneath, and my own gross relatives or the wall. and my own grotesque relatives, Don and Larry Blackmer Construction, and Kettle Construction, have been involved in such shootings with the dirty police. And there's a symbiotic relationship, dirty police, and what's a symbiotic? Oh, where in the heck is the other clean sock? Not clean. Those are both. See how much trouble these shit-ass morons cause? Can't find a clean sock. It's constant. It's beyond negative. You're beyond negative. You're like it's beyond zero. You're beyond zero into the negatives. So these are shit-ass morons that are taking up a lot of carbon footprint at the very least. They're destroying, but they're not anything but below zero. They're below zero. Shut the fuck up. Sound furious, bitch. I'm just gonna announce who it is, you fucking cunt. I'm gonna fucking film your fucking friends that follow me the fuck around when I'm in public, and pretty soon the army's gonna come in and get Washington. They're gonna figure out that they're a risk. Eric Kinzel is here. He is a secret black Nazi with his family. Eric Kinzel, secret black Nazi. He was my boyfriend in high school. They're shaking a chain. Now you might not be able to hear everything. Why? We'll have the heater on. It's actually been heard by Periscope. People have called the police on 207 and that area, I guess. That's after they've texted to it too. This is a corner unit. So remember, my version of being quiet for a shit-ass moron is shouting. Exercises. Good but effective. So 207 is constantly used as a place to terrorize me, and they do terrorist acts. They are Satanists. The place usually smells of blood, urine, fecal. They play consecrating. It smells of semen. They're again playing consecrated. They are all mentally ill, including the police department. And a whore is yapping about phone bills that don't exist. That's a common extortion ruse. In reality, who pays my phone bill? I do. And she's not the government, believe it. And these things absolutely act like they're the government. They're the food bank. They're gonna, kill you because you used a food bank. Like I said, the crack whore and the heroin addict are worried that you're a burden and they're gonna come and kill you. So I don't know. I thought this was a clean article that I put it away. It doesn't look clean. It looks muddy and dirty. Figured nothing's clean in Washington. You've got morons touching it. 461 is here. That's yellow cab. And it is not a station wagon. I'm going to show you the manager. Managers are on duty. And he's talking to the crazy one over there. There's the crazed lunatic manager. He's on crack. And remember, 207 thinks they'll look innocent. All they have to do is go down a crawl space, use a trap door. They can go to 309, 308. They can slink over to the closet and start cocking guns. Can't hear him now as well. The manager sitting out at the bench is a male, and it's a female that screams and talks to her invisible friends. Want to know something? He's as psychotic as she is. I think she's a transgender male, and don't expect politically correct from me in Washington. A lot of the transgenders are rapists, and I believe I heard her either making a fellatio rape reference to her own body part, the genitals, or having people do it. Remember, there's nobody here. There's nobody left. They are morons. They're disgusting freaks. Putting soap on something. Why? Well, I don't feel like I put on, or I even have clean pants that I pulled out of a bag. Doesn't feel very clean, that's for sure. Oh, these are the clean ones, supposedly, I think. And they're not, believe me. There's a whore playing We Must Have Her for Meals, non-clementure. And remember, they chant in apparent gibberish, a lot of it's code. Why? So they're not overheard screaming, "We're going to murder you, Lisa Guthrie. We're going to cut off your arm, Lisa Guthrie." They might say, "Oh, we're going to admonish your arm. We're going to decorate you." Now, they do also sacrifice children, but I'm going to tell you, I don't really worry about that now. Why? The animals are actually more important, whether you like that statement or not. And these things are zombies. So count on children being fed blood from the time they're born and taking part in rapes and torture from the time they're born. So what's left? And if you religious, which that's good if you're religious, want to believe that these are work of the devil, you may. Whatever your religious belief system, you may believe it. Whether you believe they are talking to crazed, invisible demons. Oh, and a whore just held her hand up, big fat maggot bitch. Typical maggot bitch, trying to take over. Look at this thing. 80 years of welfare would be nothing without whites, white-looking Semites, and Mormon European. Remember, I'm part black, and I'm here to tell the truth. What am I doing? Well, I'm dropping my phone, actually, and I might actually, cut off my hair. I don't have the dollar store bowl. Remember, I have no vanities left. I've been scratched, and there's no one to be impressed about or impressed in Washington.
So remember, people dripping blood of victims, they are what they are. They're evil morons. I now should unclutter this, but I might go in and see if I'm going to cut some of my hair. Remember, as I'm in here, I've also been threatened with what? Falling through the floor. One of the retardos is playing Dulles Priest in. And so these retardos continue to ignore what's legal. And there's a predominant theme, again, a redundant theme of getting a priest to pretend it can marry you. They've also run illegal marriages through the courthouse, showing you there's nobody left, they're retarded zombies. So remember, it's not legal for a quote priest to play marrying you. It's not legal for a priest to play exercising you. They play that one all the time, and yes, I really chop my hair off. And do I care? No, I'll just wear a hoodie. There's no one to care about. They're ugly. There's a whore disguising a rape plan. She said, major massage her body. She meant rape. And as I talk, I am chopping up my hair. Why? Because I don't give a damn. And it was irritating. And everybody is an ugly bitch in Washington. And remember, many terrorist threats are coming out of this building and at Wallingford Library, Wallingford Food Bank, also Solid Ground, the buses, and Roosevelt Self-Storage, Green Lake, the dollar stores, and those areas. Fred Meyer, those areas. Which Fred Meyer do I go to?
I go to Greenwood. A lot of Zetas up there. Big Mexican population, a lot of Zetas. However, they're not always the same Zetas in Mexico. By the way, one of the ugly creeps that sounds like the Indian guy, he's a dyed blonde guy. I have him on video. Apparently, Mexicans are looking for him to kill him. You've got several people in this building hiding from other gangs, including the elderly bald black male and his friend, another black Nazi. They've got gangs from New York that want to kill them. 2 to 3. And sometimes you'll have more than, you might have 14 gangs in the building at least. How? It might have been 16. Why? Because you've got people in 10 gangs like idiots. Yep, and like I said, if you ever see me moving my hands, moving my lips, and cursing, or gritting my teeth, not on drugs like the rest of these fuckers, but I'm cursing. And cutting my hair off, well, I'm already scratched. Which the gang members, once they do something to you, they'll try to cover it up too. So, also, how would you look attractive after you've got glass scratches everywhere if you really don't care too? It's not your problem to care. Remember, if you're scarred, take a look at the bitch or bastard who scarred you. They're probably not as smart or as pretty as you. So I went a certain way. I became more macho. And I don't give a damn. And cutting my hair down to a nubbin because I have to keep cutting it because it's not even. Who cares? That's even amusing. As long as the fuckers in Washington don't like it, that's great, because they're ugly anyway. They're ugly, they're retarded, and it's not my problem, especially when I'm in the midst of hell with a whore that was chanting as I was cutting my hair. She was chanting about taking my fingers. And these fuckers like to eat fingers, faces, and other body parts, including genitals. Some of the FGM threateners, they've actually threatened to eat that area. So I'm trying to keep it kind of polite and cleaned up. That one of them at least was a black Nazi who lives in the building. He has an ugly mother that looks like a man with a bent gait and a stumping walk. She stumps him off. And a whore's trying to do magic play, those are his fingers. Yes, I am cursing the bitch. And I just put Vicks on. Why? Well, it usually smells of blood and urine in this apartment building because of next door and the closets and the other crawl spaces, and the whole place stinks. Now, there's a lot of unusual thumping for a bathroom, and there's a bum playing. You're going to blah, 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 blah. Am I going to blah, 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 blah? No. In fact, I'm so done with chopping my hair, I don't even care if it's even, it's gone. In fact, if you hand me a pair of shears, I'll just keep a hoodie on, or a hat. I don't really care. I only care about what's important. God, animals, the planet. Innocent people and innocent spirits that don't like the devil or love him. You need to hate him. If you hate the devil, he's an opposite. He's an opposite force that you don't want. And you're seeing ugly males coming by. Sometimes some of these ugly males or females are on foot. They're people that the bitches and bastards in this building will try to give me to. Including on foot. Ugly black men, ugly white, looking ugly in between. Remember, these are all retardos. This ugly collection is a collection of shit that would love to take over your life. Wants to drive off in your car and clean itself up And you won't notice they're meth head morons because they're wearing clothes and you're dead. Anybody who opposes them, they'll just kill you. Am I threatening you? No, I'm telling you what you're doing. I wouldn't be living like this if I were in with those shit-ass morons. Would I? Why? Because I'm clever. And I'm not going to worry about a clean, nice apartment when people are sacrificing animals and trying to kick the door in and threatening me into a 7, including dirty cops. Or cocking guns. Not going to worry. It's not my problem. Not going to worry about my hair. Everybody is an ugly bastard in Washington. Fuck off. These are ugly freaks that nobody likes, nobody wants. They're gross freaks. Ugly, gross freaks. Why would you want them? Why do you like them? There's nothing. Not listening to shit asses. Not listening to gross shit ass. You're ugly freaks. Oh, that's one of the ugly things that's threatened me repeatedly, including he's disgorged a shotgun, threatening me with rape. Fellatio rape. His ugly mother is usually with him. There she is. They are slavers, torturers, murderers, rapists, cannibals, child molesters, going back years. There they go. He is a blood, but he has Crips ties and ties to others, like these other shits do. And he's an ugly boogeyman that nobody would want. He looks like a jack-o'-lantern to me. He's hideous, he's ignorant, he's retarded, he's gross. Oh, and there's a whore playing, you have to return such and such to me. These bums will pretend that you owe them. So if he'd like to have a visit to the mental hospital over something that doesn't exist, he may. In fact, I will call you. I would not call you. I will call 911 for you. And I will help you with those hallucinations by getting you committed and arrested. Would you like that, bitch? Nobody's going to listen to you. Nobody likes you. You're ugly and you're retarded. You are a gross retard. The redundant theme of our storage is played. How else do you think they also get people's storage units in Roosevelt Self-Storage? I've been renting there for almost 7 years, by the way. My own gross family links. Michael Benjamin Davis, Woody's not family. He links to such thefts. Kathy Wilson. Her old name is Wilson. Her family's, some of them are named Wilson, some Chubby. Shut up. So whoever comes near me, you might be taking a trip on a mental health journey. Because I'm not listening to ugly fuck faces. And whatever is important to you, they'll try to even invent a story, or you're going to return it to mine. Like, let's say if you liked your aunt's jewelry that she gave you 30 years ago, your big fat zombie sister comes out of the woodwork stating you're going to give me my jewelry that has no connection with the bitch. Shut up, ugly fucker. You don't tell me what to do. It's a nice trip to the mental hospital when an ugly male plays boyfriend, husband, and telling you what to do. I will guarantee a trip to the mental hospital because you're too fucking ugly to come near me. You're ugly fuckers. And they're yapping in 207. Remember, they also use a crawl space. They're playing both your knees up. He's making a rape threat. They're also playing bar keys. He's got the name of a book from my childhood. These bums showing you they have too much information show you the stalking. So it's a stalker with too much information, not listening. Shut up. You play knees up? Well, let me tell you, you don't want to come near me with a certain appendage. And it is my legal right to protect myself against monkey DNA. Michael Benjamin Davis Wood is in there. He is a psychotic fucking freak. A black boogeyman, possibly, that I've had to call police on before, is in there. His face looks like a prude. He is a dog man bitch, too. And you have the right to protect yourself against dog man DNA on you. Stinky shit slime on you. You have the right to protect yourself. Steak DNA. Blood. So I'm getting my dirty clothes up. It's one part of the thing I have to do. Now it doesn't look very tight in my suitcase, but I've got to jam food in there and other supplies. Oh, those two ugly freaks are out there. You can get a picture of a kidnapper, murderer, rapist, torturer, and he's so confident because he has ugly, dirty cops like Rob Howard, Officer Bobby of the West Precinct. Officer Rob Howard is North Precinct, that they absolutely think they can drive off with you. They've actually had the gall to warm up the vehicle that was a kidnapping vehicle that they planned. And that ugly thing out there was clearing the back seats. He was driving a teal blue vehicle with silver. It was like a Jeep Blazer. And ugly black males have long dragged off women, thus questioning any relationship. They are the worst child molesters. They are the worst torturers. They are the cannibals. They drink blood, and people are actually trying to please them with acts of cannibalism and blood drinking. They are foul. There's a horror playing judged. Remember, these are garbage DNA people. Garbage. So, garbage took over. Garbage started to judge. Garbage became the hand of fate. So if you like the hand of fate existing as a garbage can, you're going to let this shit go on. So garbage can hand. This is not packed nicely. There's a bum playing in a blah 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 blah, my ball, blah blah blah. Now, you'll hear these retards talking about a ball. What is the ball comment? Well, they're very much into chakras. And the chakra, pick up this actually. Oh, and that thing upstairs, he's possibly pounding with a skull or an arm, and he thinks he's magic. They're sick fucking freaks, and I got Good long film of those other sick fucking freaks. Good long film of sick fucking shit ass morons. And remember, it's on the other video. There's a traffic cam. I'm not psychotic. One's of the closet, one's of the traffic and parking. That is very important if you're besieged. What is? To have a traffic cam, parking, entrances, exits. Remember, I'm not an expert. And remember, these are all ugly fucking freaks, and they're not allowed legally to tell you what to do. That's a mark of the zombie. They're trying to be very dominant, even though they are retardos. So picture a model that I keep talking about of, like the disease came, the disease took over, it stripped out good cells. The disease is trying to propagate bad cells. So the ugly monkey semen walking around trying to force its disgusting foulness on you, that's the disease. Including females that are helping with the monkey semen, the cockroach semen, whatever you want to call it. And I don't just mean blacks, they're all wrong. And as a further mark of insult against them, which is absolutely the truth, so picture people who couldn't handle pretty nice normal. Picture people who couldn't handle talent. Whether wittingly or unwittingly, both, they picked people to survive that were the ugliest of the ugly. They couldn't handle anyone pretty smart, nice, normal. There's a bum yapping about a condom. Now, I want you to have a picture in your head of retardos trying to jump out of 207 or 209, ready to rape you, running around with their pants unzipped and a condom. This is also how you're going to get these things committed and arrested. Committed first if you can't get them arrested. They have supreme confidence, they're grandiose. They are hideously ugly, like that thing with his ugly mother. So a shotgun has increased his breeding pool. So is torturing. He is a child molester, he is a murderer, he is a rapist. There's a bum that's been chanting rape or chanting rent. They're going to play rape bills, rape warrant, you owe rent. You start to listen to these fuckers, you know they're not with it. So what do? You get them committed if you can't get them arrested. Plus, I'm going to help you get them committed and arrested. Why? Most of them stink. Why? They're playing with blood. They're playing with fecal. They're playing with urine. What does that mean? They're spreading disease, including purposely. They often play with urine fecal. Some of it is also from their victims, because that's what victims do. And they have blood, so they're going to stink. So that means they're a health risk. If they stink like that, they also have a propensity for playing with it and putting it in people's food. Even a public fountain has been used. That is not unusual. It's not unusual if a victim eats a certain food. These things are so sick and negative, they'll threaten that company. They'll try to reach out to that company with another blood or Zeta or M1, MS13, or Asian street gang that'll start putting pressure on people across the world to put cannibalism in their food or steaks.
So these things are guaranteed, if they smell like a health risk, they are. And a male who smells like semen, or even a female, they're a health risk. What else? They can't control themselves. They're potential rapists. They cannot be trusted in bathrooms or areas of walking, where somebody's vulnerable. Dressing rooms. And also, do you want those people touching food in restaurants? Do you want them touching the salt shaker? Do you want them processing their food? Do you want them touching your library books? Do you want them sitting next to you on the bus? There's a whore playing open. Fuck off, cunt. I'm going to open something and you won't like it. Nobody's going to listen to a dog shit moron. One of them is Melissa Udd. That's her psychotic daughter. It's Emily Udd. And she's a psychotic imbecile. And the imbeciles have been taking over for years. She is an imbecile. And that's Melissa Udd's daughter, Emily. She's on Instagram. She's listed and touted as being intelligent. She has an imbecile, evil look in her brown eyes. So there is nobody in Washington, even my own grotesque family members are zombies. Apparently they were evil for years anyway. So when Satan came knocking, here they were. They were all ready to go. They'd already eaten cannibalism. One of the whores is Carla Logston. Well, that's her former name. And I've got something propping up one camera till I get most of my devices plugged in. Here comes M&D Abatement Services, and it's got a cage between the passenger area and what else? A cage between the passenger and the cargo area. It's a white van. Those vehicles, and they also have cages on the windows. Those vehicles have been used to transport victims. And look at anything as suspicious. People also used to, not used to, but they will use and drive vehicles that are black or white. Why? Well, they think they look like government that way. And they'll even cover up a logo, or it could be a faded old logo. They're going to pretend they're government, even if it's a garbage truck. And I've probably heard garbage trucks drag away victims, and there's a reason why Deborah Layton of Burt Gilman Place Apartments actually tipped the garbage man. I think it was $200 or $300 plus a bottle of champagne. Why? He helped her with the decimations, and I believe I've heard female victims in the garbage or recycling truck. There's a whore in the closet, and I think it's Emily Udd. Oh, and by the way, she's a crawl space. But then there's a charcoal gray car that just drove in. Remember, none of these people are normal or nice that come here. There is nobody nice or normal in Washington. So I'm putting away some of my devices, making sure that I have battery, because I never know where I'm going to go, and I'm going to need battery. There's a whore playing circuit. She's making a reference to female circumcision. Do you think I'm going to let that happen, or is there going to be a lot of trouble? So she is attempting to terrorize me from the closet. She's playing, we need video. She's a psychopath whore. And who would pay her for video? Well, someone paying them for crime. And also, they would then sell off the video as a snuff torture movie. You come near me, it's not me that's going to get circumcised. Snip.
And remember, FGM is illegal. And remember, even if you can't hear them because the windows are open and I-5 is located nearby, someone on Periscope, 2 people have actually called the police. 1 maybe on YouTube. So I'm breaking things down, as in, oh, and a bum is playing family members. There are no family members. These are sick freaks. They've all been estranged. They're playing lunch. Ministry and lunch, the thing's chanting. What is the thing chanting lunch about? He's chanting a threat about blood or eating FGM, let's say, you know, those parts. I'm trying to be polite. So one of the threats has been to eat that area. So these things will refer to people as lunch and groceries, by the way, constantly. And remember, there's at least 1 dirty cop in the building. Actually, there's 2 dirty cops in the building. And he's chanting, one of them is not a cop, but he's chanting, "We're going to get you. Tuesday, we're going to get you." And it's the ugly, little psychotic bitch. He is the little bitch boyfriend of Officer Bobby of the Seattle West Precinct. I'm never poison. My molecules are heavy, and I'm like my triglyceride. What am I doing? Well, I'm doing a psychic energy activity, and I'm breaking down my devices. Remember, don't worry about the dirty floor. I worry about getting the hell out of here like it's illusion. And they've even played They played illusion. These are bombs, a lot of them. There's a bomb playing stage. The other one usually stays. So what is the psychotic fucking freak playing? So the other one. So another way they've killed people and taken their identity, they'll play the other one. And they're so psychotic, they've even played, you're not a real person, you're an android, you're a demon. What else? You are a valuable. What does that mean? They're referring to somebody in the spirit world or visible made out of a chakra or someone's aura, soul, or spirit. Remember, that's their belief system. And they cannot distinguish the visible from the invisible, including dirty cops. The dirty cops will even try to arrest you and have people trying to kill you for something in the invisible. That thud, that is a whore in the closet behind it, rather. I'm going to leave this up for a couple more minutes until I get things. So that way, if someone breaks in before I'm all ready to go, you can capture that. The whore's playing no more slow and methodical. So remember the premise of the retardo Satanists. What is one of them? Total chaos, except for them. Total destruction. Total negativity. And remember, and I'll tell you, you have that anyway because you have morons trying to run things. So there is nothing even like the electricity doesn't even work. So after all night, nothing works. And remember, a retard's chanting, and they chant in varieties of ways. They'll let you know they're not normal. And some of them actually sound mechanical. Some of them sound like cartoon animals, not just when they chant.
And I'm not going to listen to retarders. And one of them in the closet stated something about hearing voices. Well, when I have to drop a refrigerator on someone's head that breaks through the floor, that's just a voice. And that's all I'm going to say. If I call 911, it's a voice. It's just a voice. Remember that. Don't worry about it. It's just a voice. You're getting rid of those nasty voices. Nasty, evil voice. Drop a refrigerator on the thing's head when they're trying to break in from below. It's just a voice. Don't worry. And my idea for a ghost hunter show is you get the ghost hunter guys that are like those plumber guys, and then you have them beat the hell out of someone, and they're getting rid of a demon or a ghost they can beat the fuck out of it. That's one way to get rid of your voices. Beat the fuck out of a gang member who's hiding in a fucking wall. Get rid of those voices. Don't try this at home. That's your disclaimer statement. Remember, I'm a Scorpio with a temper. And remember, probably about 1 million people would have been hit by now if I couldn't control myself. There's a bomb yapping about how they're going to steal my glasses. Remember, anything related to your survival, they will take if you're on the genocide list. Oh, by the way, where's my manners? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done as earth as in heaven. Please forgive our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, deliver us from evil, for that is the kingdom, power, and the glory forever. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done as earth as in heaven. Please forgive our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, deliver us from evil, for thine is the kingdom, power, and the glory forever. Amen. You are nowhere anyway. I just heard Sunday until 7. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done as earth as in heaven. Please forgive our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, deliver us from evil, for thine is the kingdom, power, and the glory forever. Amen. There is only one God. And Jesus Christ is his Son. And I compel you to bow to Christ. Demon and devil and fallen angel and spirits who like them and are like them, bow to Christ. Do not bow to the fake Christ, or he shall be punished even more. And set me against the Antichrist and put me in him as a device he would not like. There's only one true God, the Father of Jesus Christ. So, I am just setting in, oh, that's interesting. Now you can see the glass scars. It's popular to throw glass at people in Washington. Enterprise truck rental just came by. I will note that just about, sorry, I have toothpaste. That's so gross. Look at that. Look like your mom. I'm going to put some spit on you. You've got something on your mouth. With a mole. I can really do your mother, can't I? Or your granny. Now I'm wiping up some crumbs off the bed. And then, oh, there's a whore playing. I've got 5 and I've just got to get that circumcision. So there's whore chanting about circumcision. And I'm going to put one phone away so that it is charging. Put another one away, which won't guarantee to charge because of the short in it. I'm going to pay the deductible next month. I'm not going to get a new phone because the phone I want is holding steady at more money than it started at. I like CTEs.
But I have an older ZTE. All I have to do is pay the deductible if it's only family. It never really works efficiently. How about the crack shattered nerves of the zombies? There's a bum playing girlfriend. Remember, they like to play at false relationships. You're an ugly fucker. No one would believe you. No one believes the statement. And boy, even though my hair looks like crap, I feel so much better that I chopped it off. Yeah! Plus, guess what? It interfered with my sight. Peripheral was interfered with, just like hoods. Remember, I am not an expert. You will consult with the experts rather than me. And according to the state, I'm the only non-expert in the whole state. Oh, and here's that van, M&D Abatement Services, parked there handily, right during the threats. Isn't that nice? Oh. It appears to be an Hispanic male. Just thought you'd want to know. I think he's a Zeta in M&D. C18029C. He's about 5'9", 10. And he's medium stocky. He looks 30-ish. Well, I don't even need all these jackets. Can I stuff them in there? Probably not. I have to wear them. Ah! Oh, and a horse chanting about fecal. Remember, that's their whole day spent playing with fecal, chanting about it, doing magic with it, they think. Now, why would you be talking about your ancestors that way? I'd like to know, why are you talking about your ancestors again? Now, remember, I risk an ambush from 209. And then they think nobody would ever know who did it because they'll just shimmy down the crawl space. It's very mysterious. And all they have to do, remember, is pretend you're crazy and nobody's home. He's so innocent. But he was heard on Periscope and the police were called. Now, I'm putting on my coat. So this is like a psychotic show about people putting on their coats, no kidding, and putting their chargers together. What's the show about? Well, it's my security camera, and it's my online diary. Ew, got dirt on my coat. It's not washed in yet. Oops. Damn it. Find it when we have I think it's, oh no, I think it's this week, of course. And it means going to hideous psychotic bill. Oh, and there's a 4 clocking again in 207. Am I going to listen? No. And remember, the dirty cops in my own dirty family and people like them will drag off the crime scene. Nobody will never ever know they shot you in your apartment or through the floor even. Now, how do they do pinpoint accuracy, one might ask? It proves the existence of illegal surveillance along with telling details of what you're doing. And they also let me tell you a little hint about gang members. So they're going to take behaviors that you do, which are very innocent a lot of the time, such as even if you went to a chat room. So you went to a chat room. So here's a guy from 10 years ago that you talked to allegedly, or they'll bring somebody. And remember, the floor is dirty and I don't care, because why? Well, it's about me leaving the premises, making sure there's not an electrical fire, charging my devices, getting the hell out of this dump. It's not about cleaning floors. It's about me not tripping over the wires that are holding up the closet. And, whoops, I was going to say knocking the peephole down. And, taking the stick out of the door. And that right there. Oh, and there's a bum playing maintain bullet. Melanesian. Nobody's going quietly. I'm not going to play a fucking game. So the bitch you heard, one of them is a dirty cop or in with dirty cops. So the shit-ass morons literally think you can do anything. They can do anything. Am I going to listen to a fucking bitch? Fuck off, bitch. You're a retard. I don't have to listen to retards. You're going to get shot by a SWAT team trying to shoot me, bitch. Eric Kinzel's ugly brother. Oh, and they're playing You're Getting Married. Nope, not getting married, shit-ass. Unless you want the SWAT team down on the whole building. I said no, ugly. You're ugly, you're fucking bitch. Oh, and they're playing Indian. There's that Indian slug man. And his friend, the ugly blonde, is demanding marriage to a dirty, ugly slug man Indian that is a fat, ugly bitch. They're playing, you gave your valuables to stay, blah, 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 blah. And remember, when they play valuables, they're not always talking about valuables, which you would give anyway to stay. They're extorting. So he doesn't even have a right to do that. What is the shit-ass moron possibly beating? So it's even more dangerous than extorting. And they're making a demand that I have my lip hit. Remember, these are ugly men, and I want them to try something. Because why? Don't try this at home. I've got a temper. And I want to show a little ugly fucking bitch what happens when they come at me. Believe it, ugly little bitch. Oh, I accidentally put stay. I want to show an ugly little bitch what could happen if they put a hand on me. I want to show an ugly little bitch what could happen when they pull a weapon. I want to show an ugly little bitch something. Remember, I have a temper. Don't try this at home. They're playing boyfriend. Remember, these are ugly fuckers that nobody wants. So the boyfriend thing is not going to work. Oh, I just fucked up again with the alarm. Not that it's anything. Why? Because there's shit asses in the closet. Everything they're actually behind it. If I looked in the closet, they're not there. It's behind a fucking wall that's, not even an inch thick. It's like paper mache. So I want an ugly little Indian male to come at me, or some other fucking scumbag. Why? Because I'm going to show him what happens, ugly bitch. Don't try this at home. Remember, I'm the freak who will get into the face of a 6 foot tall guy. 6'3", 5", I don't care. Why? Because it's my right when they threaten me. And I will fly at them. I have a temper like Jean-Claude Van Damme. Maybe worse. And I'm an abuse victim, and they set off PTSD. So you're not dealing with just me when you threaten to do FGM, kidnapping, murder, rape. You're threatening PTSD. You're threatening a lifelong victim. You're threatening someone who grew up in an abusive situation, and you're threatening me with the ugliest of the ugly, trying to get in my fucking face, and the ugliest and the most retarded. And when retarded, ugly fuckers threaten to detain me, it's especially offensive. Or when they threaten to touch me, it's especially offensive. Ugly and retarded sets me off. It's their very even smell of their DNA. It's like, how dare you? I'm on the video, like a diary, in case you're wondering.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about my weirdo neighbors too. And this is an area where a lot of slave threats take place, or threats involving that area. So once again, they're proving you can get them rounded up and institutionalized because they're not only a danger to themselves and others, they can't take care of themselves. So anybody who wants a slave, you get them committed for not being able to take care of themselves. It's a beautiful way to commit. And remember, these things are ugly and grotesque. I was once beautiful, so guess what? I'm going to be the worst judge of all. You want to talk judge? You play, like, one of the games the bums will play, including the black Nazis. They'll have some big butt thing that's plopped out 11 bastards and given them away. You're going to take care of a beautiful woman. It's like, where's the beautiful woman? I see some ugly thing that drops slug children everywhere. Remember, I'm part black. Oh, handsome men. Where's the handsome man? I see a man that smells like urine and fecal, and he's robbed 10 victims of their identity, plus tortured people. Plus, he's a child molester. He looks like an ugly old man. So, where's the handsome man? And remember, when they take someone who was considered beautiful and then treat it like it's ugly, you got someone who is a judge. You tell me that welfare fuckers, 80 years of welfare, you're going to tell me they're beautiful because they've got fake nails and they've got skin that isn't scarred because they're cannibals and zombies and they played the game? Gonna tell me they're beautiful? I will point out your DNA with glee. I'll dance on it. So an ugly thing that is a blonde male, he actually has Mexicans that want to kill him. He's a kind of a round-headed little bitch. He has the same kind of voice as the Indian slug-like male. And, oh, this thing might be following. That's popular. But anyway, so he and the Indian male are very bent on kidnapping, rape, murder. They're not very big. I actually recorded one at the library. And so Officer Bobby and his son were allegedly there. It's hard to keep up.
We've been trying to clean this.
Oh, this whore just said, let's go. You're ugly and you're welfare. Nobody would go with you, whore. So they'll act like they're on the phone and make a command too. She said, let's go. She's a spastic Zeta. Look at how she's holding her hands. Look at her butt. Look at her feet. They go in. That's what's left of the DNA here. That's who's trying to command you. Look at her feet. Look at her hand movements. Her mother was a drug addict and an alcoholic. So was her dad. 10 generations of inebriates. Look at her spasticity. And that thing just signed. And there's a stench here, right here. And remember, they like to play with corpse flesh. And that whore was on the phone and she said, let's go. So even ugly prostitutes think they can drag you off. Why? Because if you refuse, they'll just have some ugly 6 foot tall guy or like 3 or 4 people thinking they can drag you off. Did you notice the direction she came from? The ugly thing came from the building. Did you notice her duck feet turned in? Did you notice her spastic hands? She is 10 generations of inebriate at least. And she is a Zeta in the jean jacket. Oh, and Officer Howard and also Officer, well, he looks like a corpse. Forgot to say it over there because I was distracted. And I'm not kidding you. The ugly prostitutes and bums will try playing that they're, like they'll have headphones on and then they'll threaten you. Whether it's a phone, it's one of their biggest tricks. Because here she was saying blah, 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 blah. Let's go. Another one is to talk casually like they're talking to a friend. Blah, 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 blah. You're going to get it with a blah, blah, blah later. And they might make an axe threat or a plan to do someone in while they're on the phone. And it's inserted casually into the conversation. So either threatening somebody else, and sometimes they use code, or what they think sounds like code, and remember they're retardos. So they might call an axe, Axley. So remember, spastic, ugly drug addicts and the sons and daughters of many generations of inebriates, in some cases, took over. And how do they also get that ugly thing with the funny hands and the funny walk? Well, the gene pool has been reduced in Washington by 80 years anyway, because they targeted whites, Semites, and warm-skinned Europeans. So she would have, this thing muttered possibly. You want to mutter? Look at it. I don't believe in shit telling me what to do. This thing stuck its hand out. Remember, it's a retard. It has no right to tell you what to do. Neither does the taller retard. They're retarded zombies. They're nothing. I tell you that. And nothing bred with nothing and produced nothing. She just pointed at her pocket like gun or knife. She said, and she made a decree, may occasionally take heads or something. See this long nose? Abnormal nose. Looks like Pinocchio in the old Pinocchio. And so they made a gang decree. They are Zetas. One of them is a Zeta. Pinocchio nose is a Zeta. The thing in green is a blood with crypt sympathy, probably. Oh, M1. I'll go down with a ship. And I'm not going to go down with a retardo ship. And some of your old ladies and old men that look like they're driving nice vehicles and welfare face, it is what it is. The old ladies and old men, they're just drug addicts. They look older than they are, and they slap a cardigan on them. This thing was waving its hand imperiously. Look at the DNA. There's nothing there. And she made a glasses threat. So you want your glasses off? Is that what you're telling me? You see how they're not arguing? Now you're dealing with someone who has a temper. Don't try this at home. I don't care if you're 6'5", 6'7", you don't want to go there. Is it legal for me to talk to them like that? Absolutely. Am I menacing them first? No. But the dirty cops will even portray you as being in the hall or outside in your own apartment, threatening people. Now, on the bus, there will be an attempt, including by shit ass. Nobody's going to listen to shit asses. I'll get that straight with you now, bitch. You're ugly. So it's 8038, number 62. On me at the ramp. This keeps drawing.
I think the 16 does need
That's what's left.
the schedule. You might be able to look at them now.
Now, 8.
Next stop, First Avenue Northeast.
This thing just played Green Eyes. It's just like these zombie movies where they killed off green-eyed, blue-eyed, gray-eyed people, as well as white-looking Semite and warm-skinned European. It's not just about blacks doing it. And the operative word is usually white-looking that survived. We have the ugliest persons on any planet in any universe for a reason. I don't care if it's a pool of slime that talks, it's better looking than this shit and smaller. Oh, there's my nose. Who makes me brave? God. Who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. All of the denizens are the same peace, but Lord trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Let us not into temptation, evil, for us kingdom, power, and the glory forever. Amen.
You're like over just Woodlawn is like 1 or 2 blocks from Meridian. So I think
They've actually, in Washington, committed an 80-year war on white Semites and warm-skinned Europeans.
we're driving. Don't pull anything. Long ways.
So there are a lot of dirty cops in and out, and I'll talk about it because there is a security camera. So allegedly Officer Bobby and his son, Officer Rob Howard, and the dirty corpse-like cop. And of course, the ex-security guards, and one practicing security guard, Pike Place Market, black policies, that portray themselves as cop. Ugly, squeaky voice, little moron guy. 5'8", looks like a little organ grinder's monkey when he wears an ill-fitting costume,
This is 57.
portraying himself
so
as
wait.
police.
You're not at 54th yet.
It's 5721, 5715, 5711.
North 56th Street and Keystone.
So maybe wait after 50. Not this one. The one after 56. Probably.
56. You're at 5617. 5609.
So you want 54th, right?
I want this street.
Oh, okay, then pull it now.
By the way, there was something about that walk of that Zeta. She reminded me of my crack whore cousin Carla, formerly what? Logston. This is Keystone Dental.
This is Marie.
So you want 50 right there. We're turning down. We're staying on Meridian, yes. We're turning down.
I want your next stop.
Yeah, the next stop I think is the right one. Because Meridian, we turn here, and you said 54.
I could have actually gotten that. I could have gotten there.
Next stop,
Well,
Meridian Avenue
I want your
North
next stop
and
sign.
North 54th Street.
I want this straight. It just looks like the same.
the stop is right up there.
And this is Meridian Avenue North.
And you're at the stop is right across.
5413 B and C. And this is 5411. I just found your building. It's past the red building. That way. This is 5401. It's this way. Unless you're going across the street.
You got it.
She's got it?
Next stop, North 50th Street. Next stop, North 46th Street.
Kathy Toomey was in 207. She is a crip. There's usually about 8 to 10 crips at Greenlink Plaza, including next door, sometimes as many as 10. The guy's family members are crips in 207.
I'm going down to get my metro check. I'm a disabled now. All right. Here, I'll have to come back because I can't stand it.
Next stop, North 45th Street and Wallingford Avenue North.
Now, things were rearranged differently this morning, and one of my cameras is off. I should just juggle cameras all night long. It's like alternate between 3 cameras, even if something's at 60%. Something's
Next
at,
stop,
low 13. I'm going to get
Wallingford Branch Library.
bums were bragging, and what they'll do is rape you with a disease. Spill it. rubbing alcohol on this spill. I'm not going to have rubbing alcohol. And that's the kind of crap that happens.
Need it transferred.
Ma'am,
You're on the first spout.
thank you. I think some rubbing alcohol spilled out of my bag on a seat. It's just rubbing alcohol. That thing is playing hold or old. You're an ugly whore. You look like you're ready for the cribs. Get back to the cribs, bitch. And I mean whore cribs. With crabs. They're actually better DNA. So you notice bums will yap at you all day long. I don't mean people trying to find places like those too. I mean people yapping about you and to you. So I'm a good test subject. I showed you what happened in Washington with whites, white-looking, Semite, and warm-skinned European. It's unfortunate that, you know, it hurt me as the organism. After all, I am one person. I'm not a demon or a Dracula that regrows a new face when someone scratches me. This thing put her hand up. Remember, it just looks like it's trying to be respectable. She's dripping in the blood of her victim. She's nasty. He's got my area. I like to sit in that area so no one can approach me. And I'll teach you a trick about glass. Oh, hi. How are you doing? Now, I think I'm dripping a little rubbing alcohol from my bag and wondering. And I think it was on the bus. There was a pool on the seat next to me. I have to check that out. Just to let you know what something is. Uh-oh, here it is. Ah! Here it is. Bye-bye. Gone. And of course, what does that equate? Money. Also. Waste. Carbon footprint. This thing just signed to me, you're ugly. You're going to take your glasses off if you threaten me. You're an ugly fucker. You're an ugly weirdo. Stay away from me, weirdo, including on YouTube. That ugly thing was bothering me at the bus stop. And he was signing glasses. And so that's the loud, blustering, ugly, nasty black person. The she's crazy routine that doesn't work out. The she's racist that doesn't work out. I'm actually part black. It just doesn't work out. It's old, it's trite, it's been played too long.